Hello viewer, welcome back to 54A. I was watching a video the other day, somebody doing starting to make a vase, and he's got loads of blanks like this, and this, and this, etc. And what he's done basically is to glue them all together in a great pile, and then he's going to hollow it all out. So it's, he segmented it as well. But I thought, what a waste of the core of the wood, you know. There's so much you can do with it. You can make little boxes out of what's left, but instead it's going to end up as shavings. So I've decided I'm going to have a go at making a vase in layers, but I'm going to put each piece in a glue chuck and take a circle off the outside, about an inch, something like that, which will leave me a core. This is a little bit small, but I'll still be able to make a little box lid out of it or something. Each piece then I'll have a decent core to make something else out of. So I've got a variety of woods. I've got a sweet chestnut, hard American maple, zebrano, walnut, cherry. See what I've got on the shelf and cut a few circles out, various sizes, because I want the vase to sort of slope in like that. And so I'm going to go over to the lathe and set the first piece up in the glue chuck, which will be this piece because I've already marked it out, and then cut the circle off, which should leave me with a nice middle. So see you in a bit. Right, I've got this one. This is a sweet chestnut one, which will be the top rim of the vase, hopefully. Got it glued up on the glue chuck. I want to take out or take off a ring about just where the wax finishes, really, maybe just in a little bit, about there, which will still leave me a nice centre core for something else. But first I'm just going to face this up, not all the way in, just where I want, because it's got to be nice and flat for when I start gluing them together. That'll do nicely. Now I'll just take this off with a thin parting tool. And having the tailstock up, at least it can't escape. So there we go, that's the first one. Wasn't too bad, was it? Now that's left me with a nice little block of wood that I can make something else out of, a box lid, whatever. It saves wasting it. All that would be shavings if I just decided to hollow the whole thing out. So I'm quite pleased I saved a nice bit of sweet chestnut there. So I'll just get this off the glue block. I'm going to do the same then with the rest of the rings, just cutting them off with the thin parting tool, and then we'll see what's what. Well, I've got the piece of zebrano in now. I don't want the whole thickness. I want about half of it. So what you've got to do here is go in about an inch that way, and then go in to meet what you've cut that way. So I just thought I'd show you that one, then the rest will be done the same, I think. should be in far enough. That is a bit more awkward with the tailstock in the way, but I'm nearly there, I think. Yeah, gotta start taking it easy now. I think I've got to go slightly deeper the other way. It's very nearly there, I can feel it. And there's another one. Now I've got a nice blank here which I could make a little bowl, little dish out of. So again, why waste the wood? Very expensive stuff. And I think if we're going to use all these woods, these exotic timbers, we should try and get the most out of them. Right, so I'll just part this off the glue chuck and then I'll do the remaining ones. Right, I've got all the rings basically cut now. I've got that sweet chestnut one, soprano, maple, whatever that is. And this, oh yes, that is Ovancol. Now, I've never used that before, but it's got some lovely grain in it. Now, this is the blank I've got left. It'll make a nice little bowl or a platter. Same with that one, a nice little bowl, a platter, a box lid. All these pieces would have been shavings, but I can make something else out of them now. I've got a couple more over on the other side as well. So now I've set up on the sanding disc. Here we go, my homemade sanding disc and stand. And I'm just going to run over the sanding disc now, make sure they all go together nicely for the gluing. I'm sure you all know how to sand, so I'm just going to get on with all the rings now, so they're nice and even for putting the glue on. So I'll see you later. Right, I've got the bottom piece, the base of the vase, in a glue chuck. Going to round it off now because it's a little bit out. Put my mortise in the end, and then I can get it turned round in the chuck for the next stage. Okay, that's the mortise cut. I have gone a little bit deeper than I usually do because it's going to take quite a weight in the jaws, so I want to make sure there's a really good snug fit. So I took the mortise just a little bit deeper. I'm just going to sand this base down now, and then I can get it off the glue chuck and turn it around. All turned round, safely mounted in the chuck. Now, the only piece I couldn't core out was this, because it's too small basically. It was just an offcut anyway, so but that's going to go there, you see. So I'm just got to face this off, and then I shall glue that onto there, and then do a bit of hollowing on that. There's a tiny little ridge there. You've got to get these as flat as possible for these glued surfaces, otherwise you're just wasting your time totally. You may as well just nail the things together. And check it for nice and evenness. That's just about got it, I think. There's a tiny little bit, so I'll take that off. That's just right. Yep. So now my next stage is glue this on. I've already sanded the surface off nice and smooth, so I've just got to mark where I want it and glue it on, clamp it up. Right, I've got it glued on. I've brought the tailstock up to keep it central, and I've also put a couple of clamps on right at the back of the chuck to the front of the block, one each side. I'm going to leave that now for hours. That's got to go rock hard, that glue has. So that's the next bit done, and I shall leave it at that. Probably carry on with it tomorrow, and so I'll see you then. Well, I've managed to get in there quite nicely now. It's quite a smooth finish already, and I haven't sanded that off yet. Let's get a bit of extra light on so you can see a bit better, probably, hopefully. There you go. So that's gone right down into the stem of the vase now. I can get my finger in there quite safely to do a bit of sanding. Then I'll just face this off a little bit. I'm ready to glue the next 1 or 2 rings on. And just to get the holes to match up, I can get it that easily now, you see. So that's the next stage. Clean this up, well, sand that out, clean this up, glue that on, and maybe the next one as well. Right, the next ring's all nicely set, and I've just started blending it in with the previous one. Just got to do a bit more there, and then I'll carry on and build it up. I'm just going on to the round carbide cutter now. And that's very nearly blended in with the previous one now. Not too bothered about the outside just yet. I'll make sure this is faced off for the next ring to go on. Let's just see how flat it actually is. Oh, that's pretty good already actually. Right, I might just glue that straight on. Right, I've got the last ring on. I have just started doing a little bit of shaping actually, but you haven't missed anything. I've put this scrap block in just to bring the tailstock up, just to give it a bit of support while I'm shaping the outside. There's not a lot of hollowing to do on the inside because it's already done. So I'm just going to carry on shaping this now. I'll see if I can get the camera overhead, and away we go. To tighten it up a little bit, that's it. As you can see, it's just scraping. I'll use whatever tool you want really, and I won't bore you or waste time, so I'll switch the camera off, do a bit more, and I'll get back to you in a bit. Right, here we go. Disaster. Well, not a disaster, but pity I never had the camera running actually, but it didn't shoot across the workshop, it just sort of fell out. The mortise, the base has actually split, and it fell out. So, what I'm going to do is, because I've got a nice square inside here, I'm going to put my button jaws on in expansion mode, back on the lathe, cut this broken base off, make a new one and stick it on. Right, got it all set up in my little button jaws now, so I'm just going to take a thin parting tool and try and get rid of this. I'll put the tailstock up for a little bit of extra support, and we'll try and cut it off. That wasn't too painful. Just got to put a nice flat edge back on that, and I've got another little piece of cherry. I'll just make a little base and stick it on there. So there we go, a little disaster averted. We just had a bit of time to the job. At least nobody was hurt. That's the main thing. Everybody has these things happen to them, just you don't see it on a lot of videos. But I don't mind showing you. It's best to show you these things can happen than just edit them all out all the time. Anyway, I'll get on with this. You've seen all that before. Face it up, etc. So I'll see you later on. Right, I left the button jaws on just to make the fresh mortise in this new base. Turned it round, skimmed it over, and as you can see I've got it all glued in, clamped up nicely now, so I'll leave that for a bit. As for this broken bit, I'm still not going to throw that away. That'll make a little lid of a box, so that goes on the shelf. Not too small to throw away and make sawdust out of it just yet. Well, I'm just putting some shape on it now, just using my round carbide tip, the 13mm one. Put whatever shape you want on it. I probably change this by the time it's finished. But, it's just something to experiment with till you're happy. The aim here is just to blend these two together, and I'm nearly there, and then I'll adjust the profile of the whole thing once I've got that as I want it. Well, there's the finished thing. I haven't been too fussy with the finish on this thing. I'll just give it a quick coat of wax. The object of this exercise was to show you how you can construct something and save the centres. Experienced people, I suppose, that they wouldn't do what I'm trying to show anyway. They wouldn't get 5 or 6 bowl blanks and glue them together. They'd find another way of doing it. But if you buy 5 or 6 bowl blanks, you've spent probably 50 quid, and all you get out of it is a vase. But this way I get a vase, a box, a couple of platters and a bowl. So it's quite a money saving way of doing things. Anyway, I've got the sweet chestnut, Ovancol, American maple, zebra wood, ash, walnut, cherry. So that's it. So nothing. I don't really like the thing myself, but it's just the object of the exercise more than the finished thing. You can do whatever you like. once you've got your circles cut out. So that's it folks, I'll see you soon for the next one. Cheers now.